Dear students, I am PC Karn, biology teacher in DAV Public School, Sisal Giridi. Today, I am giving you a video lesson on the chapter Tissue, which is the second chapter of Standard 9. Tissue is a group of cells having similar structure, origin, and function. This tissue helps in performing different functions. Unicellular organisms are made up of one cell. This one cell performs all the basic activities of life. These basic activities may be respiration, reproduction, growth and development, nutrition, etc. But in multicellular organisms, these cells unite and form tissues. These tissues unite to form organs. Organs unite to form organ systems, and these organ systems, when together perform some specific function, they lead to the formation of an individual or living body. These tissues may be different in plants, different in animals. Tissues perform different functions. For example, in plants, there is transport of food and water. That transport of food and water is performed by complex tissue. This complex tissue may be xylem and phloem. Xylem transports water, while phloem translocates food. In animals, the transport of materials inside the body is carried out by fluid connective tissue. This fluid connective tissue may be blood or lymph. Now, the study of tissue is called histology. Histology is a word made up of two little words. One is histos and other is logos. Histos means tissue. Logos means to study, to discourse. That is, histology is the study of tissue. Now, these tissues perform different functions. For example, division of labor. Tissues unite to form organs. Now, organs, as I told you earlier, organs perform a specific function. These organ systems unite to perform organ systems unite to make individual. Now, division of labor is performed by these tissues. You must be knowing that plants contain dermal tissue. The function of the tissue is to protect the internal parts. As we discussed of complex tissue, they help in the transport of materials. Take the case of nervous tissue in human beings and animals. They help in carrying information, etc. and etc. So, the division of labor is done by the tissues. These tissues unite to form organs which perform some specific functions. Organs unite to form organ systems. These organ systems also perform some specific functions, and the organ systems unite to form the individual or the living body. These tissues help to reduce the burden of cells. For example, I in the beginning told you people about the cells, unicellular organisms. one cell performs all the functions, but in multicellular organisms, these different cells unite to form tissue, and the different tissues do different work. So workload of cells is reduced by the formation of tissues. These tissues also help in the survival of plants and animals. Animals have different types of tissues. Plants too have different types of tissues depending upon their structure, depending upon their location, shape, etc. Now take the case of, just I am telling you few, mobility. You know well that plants are fixed to a certain place. I am not talking of lower plants which can move. Plants are fixed to a place. Hence, they require less maintenance energy. They require strength. For that, they have dead cells, dead tissues like bark, etc. Animals move from one place to another. These animals may move for searching of food, for getting a proper shelter, for searching mate, for reproduction, etc. and etc. Hence, they require more maintenance energy. Now growth. Plants grow throughout the life. Animals grow up to a certain age. Plants have unlocalized growth, means growth not fixed to a particular place. Animals have localized growth, that is, growth takes place in a particular place, not all the places. Now, structural organization. Plants have a structural organization which is simpler than animals. The cells are not properly specialized, or you can say less specialized, but in animals the cells are complex. Their cells are properly specialized, more specialized, etc. and etc. Now, on the basis of which the tissues of living organisms have been divided into two types. One is the plant tissue, other is the animal tissue. Plant tissue contains two different types of tissues. One is called meristematic tissue, other is called permanent tissue. This meristematic tissue means group of cells. Meristematic tissue contains cells which are thin walled, cells which are compactly arranged. These cells are immature. They can divide and redivide. They are present in growing tips. The cells are isodiametric, means almost round, spherical, isodiametric. These cells are also undifferentiated, means cells do not take proper shape, proper place for specialized functions, etc. Now this meristematic tissue is of three different types: apical meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue, and intercalary meristematic tissue. This meristematic tissue is also called meristems. So we can say apical meristems. These apical meristems are found in the apical region of plants. Apical region, that is root apex and shoot apex. Root apex means top of root. Shoot apex means top of shoot or a stem. That is the tissue, apical meristematic tissue is found in the growing tips. Now this tissue helps in the growth of length of the plants. Plants increase in length. That increase in length is because of this apical meristematic tissue. The second one is lateral meristematic tissue or lateral meristems. This tissue is present in the sides of roots and stems, sides. Now, when they are present in the sides, they help in the increase of girth. Girth means thickness. Plants become thick. You might have seen that smaller plants, young plants are thin, while older plants are thick. This is because of growth of thickness, that is growth of girth. So this tissue, that is lateral meristems, help in the increase of girth or thickness. Then is the intercalary meristematic tissue or intercalary meristems. This tissue is present at the base of leaves, at the base of internodes, and this tissue helps in the growth of leaves and internodes. Internodes are the space between two nodes. So this is all about this meristematic tissue. Now this meristematic tissue means the cells of the meristematic tissue, when lose the power of division, means the power of division of the cells cease, they get converted into permanent tissue. This permanent tissue is also of three different types: simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue, and a special tissue. We shall be discussing about this permanent tissue in the second video lesson. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. Have a nice day.